Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Great Malabite, good morning.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning,
Rufai.
Morning.
Yes, we start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. We start from the window story. Buhari delayed fuel subsidy removal for Tinubu to win, says Garba Shehu. NNPC subsidy payment arrears jumped to 3.73 trillion naira in May. Under recovery hits 1.82 trillion in 5 months. Cameroon, Benin, Togo's black market crash after removal of petrol subsidy in Nigeria. Uguda alleges National Oil Company, marketers, others involved in fuel subsidy scam. Yes, Garba Shehu, well, he's left office, but he's still working with former President Muhammadu Buhari. Yes, I don't think there's anything wrong if he wants to continue working with him. In retirement, as it were, you never can tell, but that's where he is right now. Ruben, if you're inviting him for other jobs, well, he may consider it, but for now, he works with his former boss, and they are working together. He put out that statement yesterday. I don't know whether they were just uncomfortable with the accolades being given to the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his courage, which himself talked about during his Paris trip recently. But Garba Shehu is making the point, and that's the way the New Telegraph reported this story. Buhari replies Tinubu, I delayed subsidy removal to allow you, APC, win election. Says party would have lost if PIA was implemented before he left office. Comments federal government policy so far. Why Tinubu announced 15 renamed airports. Now, Garba Shehu, the meat of his press release is that no, the president had courage to remove so many other subsidies. And he talked of the massive electricity subsidy which was removed, the fraudulent fertilizer subsidy, that's how Garba Shehu termed it, the Hajj Christian pilgrim subsidies. Remember them? He asked. Yes, they were removed by Buhari. The diesel subsidy, the aviation fuel subsidy, the kerosene subsidy, the cooking gas subsidy. He's telling us that Buhari removed all that. But he failed to remove petrol subsidy. That's subsidy on PMS, which was a big drain on the nation's finances. But the president said they were looking at the polls. Poll after poll showed that APC would have lost the presidential election in February if they had removed a subsidy. Now, this is a president who was now looking at pollstar. A president was not running for election, looking at the polls to take critical decisions that will help the country and the economy. And when you add to that, that former Bauchi governor, Issa Yuguda, just revealed the level of scam, sleaze that was part of this old fuel subsidy issue. And here was a president who was elected on account that he was coming to fight corruption. In spite of all this sleaze, he was looking at the polls to know whether his party will win or not, to take a decision to remove a huge drain on the nation's resources. Well, I'm sure history will remember the president very well, for despite the fact that a law was signed, the Petroleum Industry Act, which made it illegal to
It broke the law for election winning.
Illegal to even subsidize. The president decided to look at the polls,
yes,
even when he was not running. Well, I'm sure the government in power will be grateful to him for doing the needful to ensure that they win. But Rufai, you were saying they should probe everything. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Forensic.
But don't forget that many of those who were in charge when President Buhari was taking all these decisions are still part of the government that we have now. NNPC was the sole importer of petroleum products, but it also found out part of this importation to some companies, and you know those companies.
Yes.
Well, so I hope the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who had talked about his courage, will find the courage to probe this huge scam that are taking place in the last 8 years. And of course, as it relates to fuel subsidy scam, Issa Yuguda telling the whole world that indeed there were cases where money was just paid for no fuel delivered. Well, we just move on to other stories. And yes, the Daily Sun newspaper, the story below the masthead, Tinubu will secure every inch of Nigeria. Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor, taking over yesterday, reassuring that every inch of Nigeria will be secured. Well, that is why he has been put in place.
Okay, I think we have a shortage of time, so probably we'll be able to take one or two reactions, at least have a review, you know, rather than just the commentary. You have something to say, Dr.
Okay.
Batia?
Well, the story that interests me is
Yeah.
on page what now of Tribune. I saw it saying that the speaker has appointed, page 16, Tribune at page 16, says Abbas appoints 33 legislative media aides. What is the speaker?
That's the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
What is the Speaker of the House of Representatives doing with 33 legislative aides? One of the things we said, you know, is about trimming the cost of governance. 33 aides, what would they be doing? What will they be doing with 33 aides? That's absurd. There was also a picture of the Senate President of Nigeria, you know, moving, and with a very long convoy. What is all that?
But it's always been part of the paraphernalia.
No, it's not. This is no time for paraphernalia. Government is saying Nigerians should make sacrifice, right?
But
those in positions, in public positions, should also be prepared to make sacrifice.
They are not ready to make sacrifice.
We're out of time now.
They are not ready to make
Well, and
sacrifice.
this Salah, one Muslim cleric has advised Muslims to be generous with Salah meat.
All right.
To make Salah meat available to everybody.
Well,
I hope they will be able to do so. Because the festival is for all of us.
with the price of food, I don't know how generous it'd be. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel Feni.